Hi guys, welcome back to the Colourful Table channel. I am Skill Jim, of course, and today we're going to be taking a look at all of the US exclusives for the Dreamcast. So that basically means all of the games that weren't released in PAL territories but were released in America. So that could include games that were also released in Japan, but primarily we're going to be looking at the exclusive to American ones. I've got the full set, I believe. I followed a guide back in the day, so yeah, unless anything escaped my searching, I think this is pretty much a complete North American exclusives set for, you know, like a UK collector of SEGA Dreamcast. These are the titles that you want to get if you want to also delve into the American exclusives, if that makes sense. So first up, we have 4x4 Evo. Going to be taking a look at the case there, the box art, any little inserts that may be knocking about. I did debate whether or not showing the manual. We can show the manual quickly. It's actually in colour, which is interesting. Very, very basic looking manual, isn't it there? Yeah, crazy. Really tiny screenshots. But yeah, at least it's in colour. It also comes with the SegaNet free trial offer, ended June 30th, 2001. And we've also got a play to win register product registration card in here. So I'm going to tuck them inside the manual. I'm going to pop the manual back in. So yeah, I did debate whether or not to actually share the manuals, because obviously the front cover is the manual on these games, so it's always very difficult if you've ever tried getting inserts out of like audio CDs or whatever, the things that they sort of use to hold the manuals in place. Really difficult to get out, actually. So there's the disc, and there's the artwork underneath. So yeah, pretty cool release. Let's try and make a bit of a nice pile. So next up is a big box version of Alien Front Online. So you can get this, I believe, as a standard jewel case, but I've got the boxed version here because it's an online game which also includes a microphone, which notoriously, especially after 25 years or whatever, these are disintegrating. So you'll see in a moment the Seaman game, or later on in the video. Seaman, very similar sort of thing for that. My mic's actually disintegrated, kind of. It is intact, actually. I did have one at one point. I'm pretty sure it was Planet Ring. I mentioned this on the previous Dreamcast video. I swear I had the big box for Planet Ring, and the microphone like sort of disintegrated in the box there. But yeah, so basically, essentially, this can go where either your Rumble Pack goes or one of the VMU card slots. Plugs that in there, fits in the top of your Dreamcast controller, and enables voice chat. You know, back in 1999, which is crazy. Or well, I suppose 2000s for Americans and PAL people. Or whenever this game released, it might not have even been 2000. It might have been 2001. Or was Alien Front Online a late release? I feel like. Is there a date on the back of the box here? Sometimes they put the year, which I can't. Oh, 2001. So there you have it. Yeah, pretty cool. Oh, there's an advert for Propeller Arena, a Yu Suzuki game that actually never got released because of, I guess, 9/11, which would have been 2001 as well. It was due to be released. I feel like it was like really close, like almost weeks away. But obviously, unfortunately, couldn't, in sort of respect for what happened on that day, I suppose, which is a shame, because you can actually play this game. There is like a leaked build. I think it's a final build of Propeller Arena. Similar sort of thing, like an arena-based online game, which would have been quite fun. Obviously, Yu Suzuki delving into online gaming. Who knows, it could have been a success. But unfortunately, yeah, I didn't see the light of day. But you can play it still, so it's not lost to the sands of times, as it were. shall we do this? I might do what I did with the Mega Drive, where we'll go around and just check them out. Right then, so next up is Armada. So I don't know if you guys are collecting US exclusives like this, and you're going to use this as to sort of serve a purpose of sort of a video checklist, which if you are, yeah, cool, thank you for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe button, or whatever, if you feel like it. Next up, oh, I like this one. This is Atari Anniversary Edition, and I like it because of the holographic sort of foil look to the manual. So what games are on this? So it includes 12 genuine Atari arcade hits, and these great bonus features of images of noteworthy memorabilia, original press releases and more, and a free Atari sticker apparently. I don't know if that's in here, but we'll check. It could be inside the manual. Let's see if we've got an Atari sticker in here. No, looks like whoever owned this previously has this stuck to a cupboard or something, or I don't know, whatever this guy stuck the Atari sticker to. There you go. Nice. Next up is Bang! Gunship Elite. Exclamation mark there, so you have to shout it, of course. Detonate your senses. There's actually some really unique and cool titles that were released in America that it doesn't make sense that they weren't released in PAL territories, because I mean the game is, you know, even if it was an original, see, this is what I mean, that's difficult to get them out. Even if it was an original Japanese title, someone's done the hard work there of bringing it over to an English speaking territory, and you know, there you go, for all levels, Y2K passcode, and translating them or adding subtitles or whatever potentially. It just doesn't make sense that they wouldn't just ruining the bloody manual there. It doesn't make sense that they wouldn't just release them in PAL territories as well, and vice versa. Anything that was released in PAL territories that wasn't released in America, that kind of doesn't make sense to me. You've got the game made, just release it. Next up is Bomberman Online. Online play requires a Sega Net account. And there's an advert for Ooga Booga, another sort of online arena-based game that wasn't released in PAL territories, unfortunately. Let's have a look under the disc and get past it out. There we go. Pretty cool. Big fan of Bomberman, to be honest. Next up is Centipede, another Atari classic, but this is a sort of a 3D reimagining of the Atari classic. There's a couple of games similar to this that you'll see a little bit later. And then we have a really cool release here in D2. Now this is sacrilege that this never got its release in, well, in PAL territories, because again, it's been translated, it's fully playable in English. I know it was released in Japan as well, this one, but it's a 4-disc game. Saturn owners would have had the original D or Enemy Zero. Seriously, this, and I saw this loads in magazines back in the day. This was a game that I was actually excited for myself. It looks really cool. It looked kind of like a Tomb Raider type of horror experience, bit of Resident Evil going on from the sort of the magazine images. Just crazy this was never released in PAL territories. 4 discs, sort of your Shenmue kind of jewel case that Shenmue released like that in America. Sort of a case like that. Next up, we've got Death Crimson DX, or OX, is it? It says OX, I thought it was DX. This is actually a Sammy Entertainment game, which obviously and famously now Sega Sammy joined forces, didn't they? I think the company is actually called Sega Sammy these days. This is I quite liked it when I played it. I know a lot of people think it's a bit crap, but it is a pretty good light gun shooter. Obviously, it's not comparable to your House of the Deads, etc. But if you've got a light gun and you want to add another light gun title to your collection, definitely check out Death Crimson DX. And there's actually another Death Crimson in Japan. I do have, actually. I could have showed that, but I probably will show my Japanese Dreamcast games at some point. So we'll check out the exclusive Japan version as well. So there's like two different it might even be called Death Crimson 2 potentially. Don't hold me on that one. Anyway, next up is Demolition Racer No Exit. Quick look under the disc. Oops. There you go. Just the box art again, basically. Okay, next up is Egg, which stands for Elemental Gimmick Gear. Now this is a popular title. It's got a unique gameplay element. It's a bit of an RPG type of game, but the actual combat is 3D, almost like a 1v1 fighter, which is quite cool. It's also a nice, really nice colourful manual there as well. It's also a bit of a puzzler, quite complicated, and yeah, you've got a sort of spinny move as well, I remember. Right, there we go. But yeah, pretty cool game, that one. Next up is ESPN NBA Tonight. A lot of sports titles, obviously, that were unique, exclusive to America, that weren't released in PAL territories anyway. I'm not sure about Japan. Oh, there's somewhat of a registration thing going on in the middle there. Horrible to put these manuals back. There we go. Next up is Fatal Fury Mark of the Wolves, also called Garu, I think, in Japan, right? Garu Mark of the Wolves. Love Fatal Fury. I think I said that before with the, was it Mega Drive? I think I had it on Mega Drive. Terry Bogard is my favourite Fatal Fury character. Especially loved it on the Neo Geo Pocket Color as well, the Fatal Fury. Next up is Sega Sports Flag to Flag, or just Flag to Flag for short. Yeah, crazy Sega Sports release. You'd think me capable, because it's been produced in-house, of just releasing it on all regions. Doesn't make sense, right? Bit of a go-kart sort of Formula 1 type racer. Yeah, exclusive to America. Next up is Frogger 2. So what I was saying earlier about these sort of Atari classics, or those type of games from back in the day, having these strange 3D, not even remakes, but just like a brand new a brand new game, Frogger 2. A bit of like a 3D platforming puzzler with obviously Frogger gameplay type elements in there. Right, let's move on to the next row here. So we got Gigawing 2, so the sequel to Gigawing, which is Gigawing was released for the PAL territories. Yeah, the first Gigawing was. So yeah, this is the sequel. If you really enjoyed Gigawing, maybe you didn't realise there was a sequel. You know, at least you'd never seen it on the Dreamcast. Yeah, it was released in America, so Gigawing 2. Nice colourful manual. Let's try and put that back gently. For there. Next up is Gundam, Rise from the Ashes Side Story 0079. So yeah, there was even a Gundam game released in America. Again, I just don't understand why they wouldn't release these everywhere, but hey ho. That's a nice colourful manual as well. I'm not sure if there's any specific difference between the sort of white box art here that we've seen on a few of the titles to potentially the black one, whether or not, I don't know, there was like a a new line of games, like whether these are like later releases and these were early ones, I'm not sure. Here is Hoyle Casino with over 350 Vegas style game variations. So if you're into your slots, your blackjack, your poker, and look at that, there's an advert there for Game Room, which was never released. It's got a registration card in the middle, Sierra title. There you go. What are your opinions on these jewel cases for Dreamcast games? I mean, practically they're nice because they don't take up as much space as the PAL releases that we got in those big blue boxes, cases. However, on your shelf, they're very bland, aren't they? Nothing really popping out there. You sort of have to know what you want to play to find a game on your shelf to pick it up and play out, whereas with the PAL releases, how they had the logos and, you know, some characters and some stuff on the actual side of the cases, made just glancing at your shelving unit, you know, you might just fancy playing a game just based off the spine alone. But yeah, this is Illbleed, one of the rarer titles, more popular. I know I've heard this mentioned quite a lot on the Dreamcast Junkyard Dreampod. Is one of the favourites. Just again, crazy, it was never released over here. Pretty cool game that. Next we have Industrial Spy Operation Espionage. So yeah, I'm not sure if this was based on anything. It's got that sort of, so it was based on a series, a cartoon perhaps, or I don't know. Or is it just a unique title for the Dreamcast? Nice colourful manual. Some character artwork in the back. And yeah, some nice artwork under the disc. It's pretty cool to see. Next up we have King of Fighters Dream Match 1999. This is the one that's compatible with the Neo Geo Pocket as well, actually. Just noticed there. So link up with the Neo Geo Pocket software title, King of Fighters Round 2. So that was pretty unique and cool functionality there, that you could play a Dreamcast game like this and also connect your Neo Geo Pocket with the Dreamcast link cable and get some exclusive content across there somehow. I'm not quite sure what the actual functionality or what you got from doing something like that was, but yeah, very cool to see all the same. Next up is Last Blade 2 Heart of the Samurai. Another really cool one-on-one fighter. This is sort of a weapons based, similar to Samurai Showdown. It might even come under that series, right? The Last Blade 2, I'm not sure. Or is the Last Blade its own thing, possibly? So, nice one. Oh, this is a great game, guys. Mars Matrix, if you're into your shmups. This one's really addictive. You actually earn a currency that you can spend in the shop. Unlock some really cool features. Yeah, great little game that. I mean, to people, just move that out of the way a little bit. People that obviously had the PAL Dreamcast, and a lot of these games sort of passed them by. There are some really great titles here that I wish were released in PAL territories, because yeah, people would have had some really awesome games. It's a shame. Here is Matt Hoffman's Pro BMX, so sort of on the tailgates of Tony Hawk's. There's Matt Hoffman, popular BMXer at the time. Literally the same gameplay as Tony Hawk's. So if you like your Tony Hawk games, check out Matt Hoffman's Pro BMX. Next up is Max Steel Covert Missions. And this sounds like something that was like a kid's cartoon or something, Max Steel, right? I'm not sure. Not popular in the UK as far as I'm aware, which is possibly why this stayed in America. But yeah, I do feel like this might be a cartoon series or a line of toys, seeing the Mattel logo on this game. Okay, next we've got Midway's Greatest Arcade Hits Volume 2. This features Moon Patrol, Spy Hunter, Paperboy, Rampage, Gauntlet, and 720. Can actually get the manual out quite easily. Not sure what the registration cards are for, if every game included them. If there was some sort of a reward system for sending those off, I'm not sure. But yeah, a lot of these have still got them intact in the manual. If you are an American viewer, please let me know what that was all about. I'm not sure. We never really had anything like that with our PAL releases. Here's another one that I was on about, like a weird 3D sort of throwback. This is Mrs. Pac-Man, Maze Madness, or Miss Pac-Man. Don't want to upset any unmarried people. Ms. Not quite sure what the difference is actually. That's something, if anyone quizzed me on like you see those YouTubers going around asking people like what's 5 times 7, and getting some funny answers. If anyone quizzed me what Ms. means, Miss is unmarried, Mrs. is married, Ms. is Ms like, I might be making this up, but is it like if you were a widower? You were married at one point, but you're not anymore. Is Mrs. Pac-Man's husband died? And Mr. Pac-Man's like chasing him? I don't know. Here is Namco Museum, which features Pac-Man, Ms. Pac-Man, Galaga, Galaxian, Pole Position, and Dig Dug. So just a cool collection of titles here that, again, doesn't make sense. Why were these not released in PAL territories? I don't know. But yeah, this has got a registration card in the middle too. And what's under here? Just the logos for the games. Very cool, very cool. Let's go on to the next row. Here is Sega Sports NBA 2K1, and this appears to be sort of like a Sega Classics collection. You know, you get your PlayStation hits, your I think it is Xbox Classics, and there's also PlayStation. Can't think what the word is, but there's like basically a Classics range where all of the best-selling games are re-released under this branding, sort of a budget title at that point. So yeah, this is part of the Sega All-Stars collection, which is why the box looks like that. It's pretty cool artwork, actually. Nice orange. I quite like the interior logo artwork there as well. NBA 2K1. Also got a nice NBA sticker on the case, holographic. There. Another sports title here, we've got NCAA 2K2 College Football Road to the Rose Bowl. Pretty much a big mouthful, that's what she said, of a name. The full title there is Sega Sports NCAA 2K2 College Football Road to the Rose Bowl. Can't get these bloody manuals out there again. Ooh, nice colourful manual there. What's going on with the middle page? That's pretty cool. Bloody hell, what's wrong with me? Hopefully you guys are enjoying these type of videos. I know I've done quite a lot of these recently, but obviously I'm sorting out my office, so a lot of games are going. So I just thought, while they're out, before I get rid of them completely for like all of eternity, I thought I'd show them off, make a bit of a video out of them, which is pretty cool, especially for my own sort of personal memories. So here is NFL 2K. Again, part of the Sega All-Stars collection here. We've got a product registration thing going on there. So does that mean there won't be one inside the manual? Yeah, there isn't. Interesting. I don't know why some are inside, some are loose. Let's put that inside actually. And let's have a quick look under the disc, just for completionist's sake. Oh, it's still got a security tag in there. Stolen. Maybe. These are interesting ones. So these came to me sealed, I remember, and the manual was just loose within the seal. And that is because this is a Canadian release, I believe. So not only have you got like the American bog standard manual that comes with this game, they've also thrown in the sort of Canadian manual, which I don't quite understand what's going to be different with that. I mean, maybe we can have a quick check, see if anything appears to be different off the bat. Maybe it's in French, is it? Oh yeah, look, there you go. This is in French because sort of French Canadian. Although, do people speak French in Canada? Like Montreal, I feel like is a French type of word, but I still feel like I've not really heard of anyone speaking French in Canada. But maybe that's just me being completely oblivious to sort of like a subculture of Canada. I don't know. Moving on, another sports title. We've had quite a few in a row here now because we're in the ends, aren't we? So you've got like a lot of NBA, NFL, NCAA. This is NFL 2K2. So I think we did get an NFL 2K possibly on PAL Territories. No, because it's there. Maybe we didn't then. What I was going to say is we might have got like the 2K. I think we did get NBA 2K, but obviously America also had NBA 2K1, like the sequel. Sort of like FIFA having like loads of releases over here, but not in America, for example. Next up, we've got NFL Blitz 2001. I know we did get NFL Blitz 2000. So yeah, this is the next Blitz. So if you did pick that up in PAL Territories, and I actually did pick that up back in the day randomly. It was quite a lot of fun playing with my mate. We were just sort of taking each other out with tackles and not really understanding the tactics side of it, but it is pretty fun sort of arcadey type game. So if you really enjoyed that yourself in PAL Territories, like UK type of person, you didn't realise there was a sequel, there is. It was released in America. Still on sports titles here, we've got NFL Quarterback Club 2001. So yeah, a lot of these football titles. Plenty to go around if you're into American football. I don't know which one out of these would be considered the best. Yeah, not sure. Hockey now, we've got Sega Sports NHL 2K2. Again, we did get 2K1, I believe, in the UK, but this is the sequel. So again, if you enjoyed that game, you didn't realise there was a sequel, there you go, there is, for the Dreamcast. Whew! Sort of try and get through these faster paced than typically. This is Ooga Booga, so this is a game that I was on about. I'm not sure if this comes with a microphone style pack like Alien Front Online did. I feel like I would have picked it up if it did, but I'm not 100%. So I don't think it did, but again, I'm not 100%. Let's pop the registration card in there. And we'll pop that down there. Now we are into the P's. We're in Prince of Persia Arabian Nights. So yeah, Prince of Persia game on the Dreamcast, if you didn't realise. And there's the manual. Okay, next up is another one of those classic titles, reborn. He's back, it's Q*bert. So it's weird, isn't it, how all these sort of released in America. So what did we have? We had Pac-Man, Q*bert, Centipede, and there was another one, can't quite think off the top of my head. But yeah, it's really interesting to see sort of these reimagining type of classics like that. I'll just get my next pile. So, if you picked up the fishing rod controller in PAL Territories, and yeah, you just had Sega Bass Fishing and that was kind of your lot, right? All that you could use the controller for. No, you could actually use it for Real Fishing Wild. So yeah, really cool. If you didn't realise, there are a couple of additional fishing games that were released in America, this being one of them. And then the next sort of blew my mind at the time when I was collecting these American exclusives, because I literally had no idea of its existence until I started, you know, going on eBay or whatever to pick up these odd releases. And that's SEGA Bass Fishing 2. So there was actually a sequel to SEGA Bass Fishing, and yeah, it was released in America. So if you wanted more of your fun arcade type SEGA Bass Fishing arcade gameplay with your fishing rod controller, you better get on eBay, guys, and now pick this up, because I probably would have imported this back in the day had I realised. Maybe it was mentioned in a magazine. It sort of slipped through my mind. I didn't realise that. And then finally, Sega Marine Fishing. So again, using the sort of, I believe, Sega Bass Fishing engine. So let's see, Sega Marine Fishing, the sequel to the Smash Arcade hit and Dreamcast All-Star Sega Bass Fishing. So the sequel, so maybe this came first and then Sega Bass Fishing 2, which is crazy, I don't know. But yeah, using the sort of Sega Bass Fishing engine, we've also got Sega Marine Fishing. So I guess different environments, different types of fish. Again, if I'd have known this existed back in the day, I possibly would have picked this up as well. I would definitely have picked up Sega Bass Fishing 2, because obviously brand recognition. But Sega Marine Fishing, if I'd have known it was considered the official sequel to Sega Bass Fishing as well, yeah, I would have picked that up, because I really loved Sega Bass Fishing back in the day, and obviously just played the same stages over and over and over. Would have liked some variety. Anyway, next up we've got Sega Smash Pack Volume 1. There's 12 great games in here. You've got Sonic 1, Golden Axe, Shining Force, Wrestle War, Streets of Rage 2, Columns, Virtual Cop 2, Fantasy Star 2, Vector Man, Altered Beast, Revenge of Shinobi, and Sega Swirl, which is a random one thrown in there. Obviously, we got Sega Swirl as a demo disc, I believe, free with a magazine. Or was it downloadable? Might have even been downloadable on the Dreamcast homepage. I do feel like it was released. Maybe it was on... I think we had it on a demo disc, actually. I think it was part of a demo disc with the official library, but it wasn't like a standalone release. It was like part of just thrown in with other demos. So similar how this is sort of thrown in with other games. But yeah, Sega Swirl, we did get that. Really fun little puzzler. I think you could download it as well. I've got a vague memory of that. I just noticed we've missed Seaman, which we probably should have put here. So yeah, sorry for not doing Seaman. That's what she said. I mean, it's definitely a that's what she said joke out of here, right? Should have done it before Sega Bass Fishing 2 in terms of alphabetical order. Just had it off to the side, guys. One little point I was going to make with the Sega Smash Pack Volume 1, kind of considered keeping it because there is on Virtual Cop 2 Shenmue billboards. So as you go around shooting the enemies, I guess. Oh, there's a bit of a sticky residue on that. I didn't even realise, but I just made a joke there. As I was wiping away the word Seaman, I just said there's a bit of a sticky residue as I wiped away these sort of, sticky residue. I can't even remember what I was on about now, but something to do with... Oh, yeah, I was thinking of keeping that because of the billboard, but how much really is it necessary? It's not really part of the Shenmue collection, is it? Just because it's got a Shenmue billboard inside Virtual Cop 2. And it's not something that I can never pick up again. So this is what I meant about the microphone. So you've got to be very careful. I mean, the other one was sealed. This one's unsealed, potentially used back in the day. I need to get this out gently. But yeah, there's crumbs. This is probably what was on the disc, actually. It's just disintegrated. So that is definitely an age-related thing. You can kind of see the green shit in the box there. Not great. Probably could do with putting that in some sort of a wrapper. But I don't really have random wrappers to hand. Have I got anything at all? don't think I have, and I'm still recording. What's that movie? No, don't worry about it. Not that you were worried about it, but I guess I'm talking to myself. Don't worry about it. There we go, it's just slid in. You can forget about it now. There we go. So there's Seaman. So let's move that. That should have gone there, which means that Sega Bass Fishing 2 should have gone there, and then Sega Marine Fishing there. You can go Sega Smash Pack there, and we're back on course, guys. So we've got 7th Cross Evolution, a game that I saw a lot in magazines actually back in the day, official Dreamcast magazines and PAL territories, and this is one that I was quite looking excited for, sort of like looking out for. Was quite excited for this release. It was never released. I always sort of kept an eye out in game shops just in case it was. I have since played it and it's a bit shit, to be honest, so I'm glad that I didn't end up getting this back in the day. There's a cool kind of evolution element to it, similar to Seaman in a sense, but just the way the game plays, it's not too enjoyable, to be honest. Here is Maximum Pool. Coming to the end of the PAL now, guys, actually, so yeah, shouldn't be an excessively long video, hopefully. Similar as this Sierra, so yeah, the same people that made Hoyle's Casino, which is advertised on the back there. I'm guessing because of the success of these two games potentially not being great, they never released that game haul or whatever it was called. I think that might have been released on the PC though. I do feel like I might have seen that released somewhere. Sports Jam, this was a cool one. Again, I saw advertised a lot in our official magazines. This is also an arcade Sega release. So again, unusual that it was never released in PAL territories. It would have been really fun to play this with friends. So there's sort of like these sports style mini games. Pretty cool game. Let's put that there. Next up is Test Drive 6, which I adored Test Drive 5 on the PC. That was when I was getting into PC gaming. I had Test Drive 5. It's not great to play now, but I did really enjoy driving around the tracks, and there was also a cool where you were getting chased by the cops, which I don't know, that may have been in like a Need for Speed type of game, or you know, like, because Need for Speed was on the Saturn. I'm not sure if there was any sequels or if there was any police chases in that game. I'm not 100%, maybe there was, but that was sort of a unique element, getting chased by the police in Test Drive 5. So yeah, pretty cool. Test Drive 6 was released for the Dreamcast. Here is the King of Fighters Evolution. Does actually say the, whereas the other one just said King. That's why that was under the K's. Yeah, pretty cool release again. Considering we did have a King of Fighters release on the Saturn, I'm surprised neither of these made it to PAL territories. Next up is the Ring, Terra's Realm, which I believe at the time, the Ring probably was pretty big at the time, right? In 2001 maybe? So this is trying to sort of piggyback off the success of the film. I'm not even sure if it's based on the films. Obviously it is a little bit, but I mean, that doesn't look like Sarah Michelle Gellar, if you know what I mean. It could be based off the original Japanese ones, potentially, and they just sort of released it in America for the piggybackness. Now this is one of the best US exclusives on the system. The Typing of the Dead, I would have easily have bought this again for PAL territories if it was released over here. I mean, I had a keyboard for Fantasy Star Online. I don't know why they never released this game over here. Always was, you know, when I saw it in magazines or heard about it, always intrigued me, always wanted to play it. And it was only until I started collecting these American ones that I actually ended up getting it and playing it and loving it. So that was my first experience of Typing of the Dead. Great game. I did have it on the PC, actually, think about it as well. I did have Typing of the Dead on the PC, so it was released over here, but only on PC for some reason. So yeah, I take that back, actually. I did play that back in the day. Weird. This weird was never released on the Dreamcast. For us. Next up is Virtual On. Oratorio Tangram. And I think this is the same game that's in the arcades, right? Or maybe not. Maybe that is the virtual on that's in... I think that is the virtual on that's on the Saturn. So this is the sequel. Could have had an arcade release as well, actually, this game. But yeah, really fun game, this. Love that game. I love the Saturn one as well, actually. Great games, great fun arcade games. Right, last few ones, few releases here, guys. This is a strange release. This is Who Wants to Beat Up a Millionaire? Simon and Schuster's Interactive presents Who Wants to Beat Up a Millionaire? An hilarious parody of the hit TV quiz show. So very, very strange release here. Quite a thin manual. Not much going on there. This is probably one of the few I can understand not being released over here. Last two are sports titles, unfortunately. Again, we've got one that's got a Canadian French manual additionally. I'm not sure if this just happens to be these two specific titles that I've shown you, or there was like a French-Canadian release for some of the other games as well that happen to have like a loose additional manual. A bit strange because you can't fit it in there. So yeah, it's basically just sort of hanging loose. I can fit that in there though. I don't know why I didn't do that. And the very last game, guys, thank you again for watching this content. If you made it this far, I really do appreciate it. The last title is World Series Baseball 2K2. So the sequel to this game. And just for completionist's sake, let's have a quick look at the manual. This one's in colour. Ooh, got some additional stuff in here as well. It's pretty cool. So we've got a sticker, a Foot Locker sticker. Oh no, just a Foot Locker coupon. It says present this coupon at any Foot Locker and receive $10 off a purchase of $50 or more. Offer valid through November the 15th, 2001. Would be funny to take that in a Foot Locker store these days, right? And just say, oh, I didn't realise it had expired. Damn. And just sort of see what sort of reaction they give you. That'd be quite amusing. Maybe not. TikTok viral, do you think? Possibly. Right, guys, there we go. Thank you very much for watching that one. Hopefully you maybe learned something here about American releases and for the Dreamcast that you weren't aware of. Some of the releases there surprised me at the time. So yeah, if any of that surprised you, please let me know in the comments because I'd be quite interested. Quite a few good releases in there as well, like Typing of the Dead, Seaman, sequel to Sega Bass Fishing, Virtual On, D2. There was a few others under here that I would recommend, like your Giga Wing 2, your Mars Matrix, maybe one of the King of Fighters games, for example. Yeah, some cracking releases actually that were exclusive in America. Again, I've said this the whole video, it doesn't make sense. Why did they not release these everywhere? Just, you've made the game, it's in English, makes no sense at all, and vice versa with our releases. Like we had well, maybe not Taxi 2, I don't know, because that was like a French exclusives, but I think Cannon Spike was PAL. Was that? Oh, I don't know actually, I might be making that up. Confidential Mission, maybe? Might be making that up as well. I don't actually know what our PAL exclusives were, but I do know that we had a few. I'm sure you can Google it if you're really interested in finding out what is exclusive to PAL territories that wasn't anywhere else. I don't know. Let's end the video while we can, guys. So yeah, thank you very much again for... Oh! Just quickly, because I don't think I'll have any other opportunity to show these off, but not that I was a massive Game Boy Advance fan, but when Sega went third party, obviously after the Dreamcast, I picked one up for these exclusives. So we've got Sonic Pinball Party, Jet Set Radio, which, I mean, is very rare, this game. There's only one of these on eBay at the moment. It's 400 quid, so I don't really know how much that is value at. I don't know if it really is that rare. It seems like it is. We've got Sonic Adventure 1, Sonic Advance 2, Sonic Advance 3, Super Monkey Ball Jr., Shining Force. So you can see there's a theme going with all these Sega titles. apart from one, which is Metal Slug Advance. I did have a few more cartridges. I'm not going to show them, but I just thought I'd just show those in the video. Again, mainly more for myself, that I once owned these games. Yeah. So we'll leave it at that, guys. I'm not going to get the cartridges and the manuals out, although Jet Set Radio's got a cool manual. Let me just quickly show that, in case you've never seen this before. So the manual is actually full colour. Check that out. Really, really cool to see. I mean, the game I don't think is great. I never quite like the isometric Tony Hawks or the isometric Jet Set Radio here. Very difficult to play, actually. If you can play the Dreamcast version, obviously. I know Game Boy Advance was more on the go, so yeah, it was quite cool having a Jet Set Radio title on the system. And some of the Sonic Advance, like the Chow sort of link with the thing, very reminiscent of what they were trying to do with the Dreamcast and the VMU, right? With the Sonic Adventure, Chow Garden type of Chow Adventure or whatever. Similar sort of thing going on with the Advance games. But obviously you can... Oh, it was GameCube, that's what it was. So I think one of the Sonic Advance games, you could link up to your GameCube version of Sonic Adventure 2. And yeah, there was some sort of functionality there as well. But yeah, that's another story for another day, I guess. So again, thanks very much for watching, guys. Hope you're doing well. Take care out there. What am I on about? What am I on about? Take care out there. Until next time, see you later. I don't know.